Hello there, dear browser of the miraculous interwebs. Have you heard of the coming apocalypse? The end of the world, just around the corner. For a few months, I suppose you would say, I've been researching into the ways of volcanoes and fault lines, and I predict that the end of the world could be on us at any one time. You see, Hawaii is an island in the Pacific, and yet it is not just any island. And Yellowstone National Park is a park in the northern USA, though it's not any park. Is it in Canada? No, USA. And yet it's just not any park. You see, those two positions on our lovely spherical Earth are the only two positions in the known humanity of the universe where a volcanic hotspot has occurred. You see, God clicks his fingers, and let's see. The Earth's crust and a volcanic, the magma of the Earth. And God clicks his fingers, and spout out comes a bit of volcanic magma. And it's not always at the fault line, because that's what's happened with Hawaii and Yellowstone National Park, where the massive geyser is, that if it explodes, it'll wipe out the northern hemisphere. But you've got volcanic thingo coming out onto the surface, and it creates Hawaii. And of course, as you've got the crust moving up towards India, 3 inches a year, I think it is, you've got this volcanic hotspot, and it's making a dent in the thing, and it just keeps going until you've got a whole island range that Japan likes to bomb in 1942. But the thing is, what is stopping these hotspots from erupting anywhere? Like Tokyo, the largest populated city in the world, 34 million civilians, just wandering around their only daily lives, and next thing you know, a volcano pops out of nowhere, straight onto that big... No, that's in Shanghai. I cannot think of any Tokyoan landmarks, because I'm not really sure on that kind of thing. Well, perhaps you're in London. Yes. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Big Ben is destroyed as a volcano erupts out of the Thames. Or you could be in the... Oh dear, now my iPad's even falling over because of the volcanic eruptions. Or you could be in the Wild West, and suddenly you're in California, and a volcano appears out of nowhere. You see what I mean? What is stopping these volcanic hotspots from coming out of nowhere? And I went onto this lovely website called Quora, where you type off your questions to all these very rich and professional people from California, because everyone apparently comes from California on Quora, and you send off your questions, and I requested about 9 people to respond to me. It's been about a month, and nothing's said, because all of these Icelandic geologists would rather look at rocks than take the care of the apocalyptic ideals of a teenage bigot. And mind you, I don't blame them. But don't you see where I'm coming from? What is stopping volcanoes from just randomly appearing anywhere in the world? From just rupturing out of the crust? And that is the question, because originally I thought that Hawaii was an island chain created by a volcanic hotspot that was because of the center of a tectonic plate is weak, you see. It's weak. Like, you know, the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the weekend, for us, that's awkward. But you've got the week, okay? It's a week. And so magma can surge through there. And so I thought, Australia, middle of a continent, why aren't there volcanoes in the outback? How more different would the Aboriginal culture be if they'd grown up around volcanoes? I mean, just to think of it would be, quite frankly, amazing. But why aren't there volcanoes? Honestly. So I thought there was a weak point in the Australian continental thing, and I thought, Uluru, that's going to blow out magma everywhere. Which of course it hasn't, because that's where Australia's hiding their nuclear arsenal, you know? Uluru just moves open, missile silos, and Fanny's your aunt, Bob's your uncle. But, so yes, that's what I was thinking. Why hasn't that happened? And then I went on to Quora, and I surfed the web, and I surfed the books, and I surfed the waves, and I couldn't find a single thing about the centre of tectonic plates being weak. So I thought maybe it was the weekend, but I couldn't find anything about that either. So I came to the scientific conclusion, with Lord Kitchener here helping me out. I thought, and Malcolm Turnbull, what a chap. Well, not anymore of a chap, no, away in the Bahamas. But, so the middle of tectonic plates cannot be weak, because I didn't find anything in the history of the universe telling me that they can be weak. So unless I go and get a wee bit of a hammer and smash the middle of a tectonic plate, and for some reason it doesn't break, which proves that it is strong, because come to think of it, why would the middle of a tectonic plate be weak? I'm sure some Icelandic geologist could inform me, but he's too busy looking at rocks. So yes, you know, it can't be weak. So Hawaii is only because of a thing, because of the hotspot, which was, you know, God, where's the piece of paper gone? God clicks his fingers, and there you go. And you've got the crust moving over, you've got volcanoes going left, right, bloody centre. So that's why it is. But why doesn't that happen anywhere? Berlin, London, Tokyo, Beijing, Shanghai, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Darwin, South Africa, Johannesburg, Africa, South America, the Falklands. Why aren't there volcanoes just randomly popping up everywhere? If that can happen. Why doesn't God just click? And I mean, I'm not exactly sure of the existence of God. I'm not really around to that bit, as it's a, you know, not exactly a walk in a park proving his existence, proving Hinduism, Buddhism, all that jazz. But why doesn't it just happen everywhere? Why is it specifically? And the fact that Hawaii and Yellowstone Park, and I'm not sure either Yellowstone Park is like a young thingo, you know, he's just getting his, because I'm not really sure Yellowstone Park is a magma thing, because it, or is it just a body of water and magma and spurts of steamy water, I think is what Yellowstone Park really is. As you can see, I know nothing about geology, but why? You see what I mean? And the fact that Hawaii and Yellowstone Park are so awkwardly close in proximity of our lovely planet Earth is just, I feel like that somehow they just can't relate. Somehow that just couldn't have caused that. And so we've discarded Yellowstone Park, and then you find all these things about Iceland being Iceland is not a hotspot, for Pete's sake. Iceland is on a tectonic fault line, all the ways for bloody volcanoes and ice ages. So Hawaii, why are you so bizarre? Why are you the only example of a tectonic hotspot, a volcanic hotspot, and why don't they happen elsewhere in the world? The question that needs to be answered, or else humanity will soon fall into apocalyptic doom.